Welcome to the Jones Zone, a podcast by Darryl and JJ Jones.
Hey, if you're a Californian looking to move out of state, we have testimonials from former Californians who've moved to many different states, including Arizona, Nevada, Texas, Montana, Wyoming, and so many more. Make sure to subscribe so you won't miss the next state that we preview.
I can run my air conditioner 24/7, 365, and it's cheap.
Wow.
You get the bill and you'll be surprised. If you're going to move to Florida, make your move during the winter time, November to February, so that you're moved in, set up, and everything before the summer does come. Your lifestyle is 24/7 shorts, t-shirts, and flip-flops.
Jimmy Buffett.
I've noticed also that as I get older and I've had more joint pain, that the humidity, between the humidity and the heat, my joint pain hasn't been as bad here.
Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jones Zone. Today, we're going to interview Gary Costello. Gary used to live in Orange County, California, and he moved to Florida. In fact, I think it's been less than a year now. It's 2025, right? How long have you been there, Gary?
3 months, 3.5 months.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, slightly less than a year. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I sold your house, and I thought it was longer than 3 months ago. So, Gary, I do this because I'm just helping a lot of Californians, and so many of Californians are moving out of state for multiple reasons. And I wanted to get, kind of a firsthand experience from your perspective, a fellow Californian moving from Orange County to. Tell us about, where did you move to in Florida?
North Fort Myers.
North Fort Myers. Now, where's that? That's kind of middle of Florida, somewhat. No, or towards the south.
Southwest Florida, so it's kind of more on the Gulf Coast than on the Atlantic coast. 22 miles from the actual coastline.
Okay. Oh, so you're kind of the same distance as you were in Brea.
Yeah, kind of about the same distance. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good perspective. So, all right. Well, I got a series of questions that I'll ask that I think a lot of Californians are going to want to know prior to moving anywhere, frankly.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was the biggest difference that you noticed between the housing in California and Florida?
No solar panels out here.
Interesting. I heard that about Texas too, because they have big, huge hailstones. But so why don't they have solar in Florida?
The only reason I can think of is because the living off the grid is so much cheaper than in California. I don't see Teslas. I don't see nearly the number of Teslas that I saw in Brea. Solar energy. I can't really say that I'm seeing any homes, since I've been here in 3.5 months that are powered by solar energy. So that's kind of a big thing. The homes, at least the home that I bought, and I think the code nowadays is to really strengthen the homes out here, given the hurricanes. The home in the development that I bought, all the homes are made of concrete brick, and so,
all right.
And so they're, as opposed to kind of a wood framing and stucco on the outside like you saw in Florida. So it's all brick.
So it's a lot more durable for the hurricanes, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
it's
gonna stand up to anything pretty much, from what I understand. And again, and along with that are the windows that are standard here, which are Cat 4, Cat 5 windows. Again, to address all the hurricane issues out here. So the homes are built stronger out here. I think those are a couple of things that I've noticed about it here that's different than in California.
Now, you moved into a community, right? Was it
Yeah.
Tell me more about the community that you moved into, because if I remember correctly, it was a retirement community?
55 plus community.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if falls in any category necessarily retirement. I think there are people here that moved into it but are still working, either working from their home or they go out, or they actually have a brick and mortar work location. It's a nice community. Del Webb.
Del Webb's got a great product.
I'm quite pleased with it. Again, they've taken into consideration, environment and all the storms they have out here. So they drain the ponds out here. I don't exactly know where the water goes once they drain them, but so that's to prevent flooding. They've also, I think the county has also included certain things to help, with the flooding issues. And I live close to one of the major rivers that goes, from Central Florida to the Gulf Coast. If you just drive down the road here, any road, you see a lot of power company trucks going up and down the road. So they're doing a lot with infrastructure here, I believe.
Is that to prevent like flooding if the river gets overwhelmed? Is that what you're thinking, or?
Yeah. If the river gets overwhelmed due to a hurricane, it's going to tend to spread out.
Sure.
Into some of the locations, but I think they've taken some measures to minimize the flooding.
Have you experienced any hurricane yet?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. When is hurricane season in Florida?
Well, we're in hurricane season right now, and I think the height of the season, it runs from June through November, but the height of the season is now in September. So you're going to get. So I'm waiting to see. This would be my first.
And hopefully it won't be for another 10 years. I mean, it doesn't have to. You're not guaranteed a hurricane every single year, or is it that frequent?
No, as a matter of fact, I've heard them saying this might be a white hurricane season. So you may get hurricanes, but there's different categories of hurricanes, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think all the way up to 5. Coming from Southern California and living out there with the Santa Ana winds all my life, that'll help kind of prepare me for this a little bit,
Yeah, they can get pretty strong. How about the overall cost? I mean, groceries, utilities. You talked about utilities being pretty tame, which is that's probably a good thing for sure. And then what about your insurances, homeowners insurance and groceries and gas and things like that?
Yeah, I have insurance on my home. A lot of people said that all the insurance companies are moving out of Florida. That wasn't the case for me. The first insurance company I got a hold of, which was Progressive, they were underwriting policies, no problem. The other thing you'll hear is that, well, it's, if you do get a policy, it's going to be very expensive. Well, I've got full coverage and it wasn't nearly what I thought it was going to be.
What are you talking, a year or a month? Approximately
106 a month.
That's not too shabby at all. $1,200 a year, between $1,200 and $1,300 a year, and that covers hurricanes. I'm assuming, because here, of course, fire's the big deal. There, I'm guessing hurricanes are the big deal.
Yep.
You don't have too many fires there.
It was less than here in Florida. It's less than what I was paying in California, and like I say, I was anticipating it to be quite a bit more for basically the same type of coverage. It's very reasonable. Utilities, as I think I mentioned, I can run my air conditioner 24/7, 365, and it's cheap.
Wow.
You get the bill and you'll be surprised. 119 was my first month. 114 was my second month. Third month went up to 134. So I'm really pleased with that. Overall utility costs, for water, you don't pay hardly anything for water. I happen to get my water from the city. A lot of folks around here are well water. It's well water. So
you drink is it drinking water like the old days that we used to have in Brea? We would be able to actually drink the water that was coming out of the faucet.
Yeah. Even the folks that have the well water, I guess it goes through some filtering system. And so the only downside of that is during a hurricane, you might have issues with well water, whereas if your water is coming from the city, then you won't have that issue.
How about groceries? Are groceries a big difference? Lower?
Groceries, I'm gonna say are about the same. No, I haven't noticed a big difference in the cost of groceries. Milk is more expensive. It's one of those things. Some things are more expensive and some things are less expensive than California. But overall, it's kind of a wash. Gas,
right,
is a lot cheaper, anywhere from $1.50, $1.25 to $1.75 cheaper.
Oh, I thought you were about to say $1.50 a gallon. Okay, but still, that's pretty significant.
Well, yeah, $1.50 a gallon to $1.75 a gallon cheaper.
Cheaper, okay.
And I think again, some of that A lot of that has to do with regulations, and you'll kind of notice that when you go to a gas station, they don't have the apparatus on the gas pump you see in California, which happens to limit a lot of the
fumes or whatever.
Yeah, the fumes and everything that would
Yeah.
otherwise go into the atmosphere, into the air.
You mentioned no hurricanes so far this year, knock on wood. And how about the humidity? You said you've been running your AC. Of course, you were there the summer months. So far, what's the average temperature outside, and is it humid? I've been to Florida, and it's been when I've gone there. In fact, I'm wearing my Orlando hat, but we happened to go during the wintertime, and it was just beautiful. There was no humidity whatsoever. But in the dead of summer, which is when you have been there, how's that humidity treating you?
I look at it a couple of different ways, and I will give you this tip: if you're going to move to Florida, make your move during the wintertime, anywhere from November, to February or something, so that you're moved in, you're set up, and everything, before the summer does come. But what you're gonna see during the summer is temperatures in the 90s, and then you're going to tack on 60, 70, 80% humidity. It rains here. We're not only in the hurricane season, but we're in the rainy season also. So that contributes to that humidity number also. So it rains here almost every day.
I just did Washington, and he talked about how it can rain, and Hawaii was the same way, that it rains, but it'll only rain for a little bit, and then it'll be sunny, and then it may rain. Is it kind of like that?
When I first came here, the first couple months, it would rain almost predictably, between 3:30 and 5:30, and and it would last for an hour. And you get thunderstorms and you get lightning. They are significant storms, and the rain comes down in buckets.
Right.
So, I've probably seen more rain here in 3 months than I saw in California my entire existence there. So now I've noticed that we've gotten into September that the daily temperatures have cooled. They've gone into the upper 80s. And the humidity seems to be not quite as bad. And I'm hoping we're going to see that as we kind of go through September and October, that daily, temperature is going to decrease. And then you're going to get the less humidity overall during the day also. The nighttime temperatures here are in the 70s, but you're still going to get that humidity at night. And so it does tend to cool off at night. But I'm waiting here. I'm waiting for to get into like late October, November, where I think it's going to be really nice here.
How about your lifestyle? How's your lifestyle? Has it changed at all from California to Florida? Are you doing the same things you were doing here in California, or how's that changed?
Your lifestyle is 24/7 shorts, t-shirts, and flip-flops. So don't even think
Jimmy
about
Buffett.
No jackets, no long pants. Air conditioning. In California, I might not use my air conditioning all day. Here, you use it all day. It's kind of like, during the summer months, it's kind of like going to Las Vegas, where you don't go outside too much.
Right.
You go into the hotel. It's all air conditioned. Everything you want, everything you need is in your hotel, and it's kind of similar to that here. You're in your house, which is air conditioned. You get in your car, which is air conditioning. You go to the store, which is air conditioning. And unless you're, again, like me, that likes to get out and golf, those are the kind of activities that you would do earlier in the morning or later in the late afternoon or early evening here.
Well, speaking of that, so have you been golfing? Golf courses there that are nice?
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of golf courses, and I'm still finding out, where they are around me. There's a lot of private courses, that are built around communities, and then it's a matter of finding some of the public courses, that.
Less expensive.
Yeah. So I get out, I have a chance to go to the driving range, but you'll get acclimated to the conditions here. Not, I don't think entirely, but you'll get used to the humidity. It seems, I can't quite describe it. It's a different type of humidity than when humidity hits in California. For some reason, you notice it more there. I notice it more in California. Here, maybe I've just accepted it as part of the daily life. And I've noticed also that, and maybe I'm wrong, but I've noticed also that as I get older, and I've had more joint pain, that the humidity, between the humidity and the heat, my joint pain hasn't been as bad here.
Oh,
and maybe that's why a lot of people come to Florida.
right. Well, elderly.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember I was not routinely, but going to my chiropractor when I was in California. I go to my chiropractor, once every couple of months. Here, I haven't felt the need to go to the chiropractor at all.
Is there anything in California that you're missing since you've been there to Florida?
The weather.
The weather in California. Okay,
Yeah.
so the lack of humidity.
Yeah, part of the lifestyle here also is that you kind of have to plan your day around the rain. That it's going to come. But so and then lately it's been coming earlier in the morning. So the seasons are you can kind of tell the seasons are changing a little bit here. So the rain isn't just that afternoon. Sometimes it comes in the morning. You have to plan. If you're going to go out, you got to take an umbrella or you got to take a raincoat, because it can be nice. It can be nice where, you can go down to the, to the Kohl's department store or something, or Home Depot, and on your way out, and it can be nice. And on your way out of that store,
buckets,
coming down in buckets. So
wow.
You got to be prepared for that.
So you just keep an umbrella and jacket in your car and at home and everywhere. Kind of like how I have my seeing glasses all over my house. Hey, now what about property taxes? How are property taxes in Florida?
I'm going to compare them pretty much with what California. I was anticipating them to be higher, but my property taxes are consistent with what Californians were. The government here, they have a number of different, for example, before hurricane season hits, they reduce taxes on a lot of hurricane related things that you might buy for your home to get through the hurricanes. So, they'll say, well, okay, no taxes on certain items at Home Depot, So you'll get relief from taxes. The tax rate's only the retail tax rate is only 6.5% out here, compared with, 7.
8.
Yeah.
So tell us what were you able to get and what price? Meaning, how many bedrooms and baths? How old's your home? What size is it? What size is the lot? You got a newer home, if I remember correctly, right? Or a brand new home. So you got a brand new home. It's single story, right?
Single story, yeah.
Single story, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a flex room.
Okay.
Call it a flex room, which is where I'm at right now, which I turn, in the flex room. It's kind of one of those rooms that, it's not necessarily a bedroom, but it could be. It's kind of one of those things. You can use it for whatever you want to.
All right. And then how big is it? How many square feet?
2,084 square feet.
And if you don't mind, well, it's public record, but and what's that cost you there where you're at?
$530,000.
Oh, I sold your house in Brea, and that's then so half, not even less than half.
Yeah. And then
that's nice.
And then my backyard, I really wasn't looking for something that big. Actually, I was thinking about either staying in the same size as in a home the same size as my Brea, or even,
which was smaller and 2-story.
Yeah, and 2-story.
Yeah.
But also maybe downsizing. But as I went through, as I was shopping for the homes here, and I really wanted to get into this community because they have a lot of nice amenities and everything, all that you hear about Del Webb. I came across this one property, and the backyard faces the preserve. So I'm not looking at somebody else's, yard or,
sure.
And out here there are no fences, so So that backyard, looking at a nice preserve, all the greenery in the back was kind of sold me, basically on this home.
You mentioned the Del Webb. What are the HOA fees and what do they include?
The total HOA fees are $375. I just rounded that off.
Okay.
$375, and that includes your high-speed internet. So for me, I would think I was paying over $200 for my internet and my cable. $375 here. They pay for your internet and your cable. I believe that's all that's included in that. So it really is quite reasonable.
Do they have a pool or tennis courts or anything like that?
They have a huge pool with swim laps also that they just completed in June, which just opened up. There's a restaurant that's going to be opening up this month called the Oak Creek Restaurant, and that's right over in the same where the pool is. Pool, jacuzzi, pickleball. Yeah. Pickleball courts. They have like 6 pickleball courts. So they have a gym. There's a gym there. Pretty much a full-size gym with all the equipment. If you factor that into your HOA dues, it's
that's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
I mean, you have gym. That's your gym cost alone here, or whatever. I don't know, $100 a month or $80 a month at least. How is the social life there? I mean, you talked about the HOA. Are you able to meet people there? Pretty friendly community. Are there a lot of fellow Californians there where you're at?
I've met more people from the Midwest and from the Northeast than I have Californian people. I assume moving out here I was going to meet more because I heard a lot of people were moving up from California. It's kind of funny, you don't meet a lot of native Floridians here. Everybody seems to be from somewhere else. But at least in my community, and I found this even going to the grocery stores, it's just a friendlier environment. Of course, in my community, everybody waves, to each other, whether you know them or not.
So where do you fly? You fly out of John Wayne to get here to Orange County. Where do you fly into to get to where you live? What airport do you guys would you use?
There's the Southwest International Airport, which is in Fort Myers.
Okay, so Fort Myers is your big hub that you're closest to.
Yeah, so I'm maybe 30 minutes from airport. That's 30 minutes pretty much straight through because the there's
traffic?
There's not nearly the level of traffic here
that
there is in Southern California. Although my family, my sister would say, well, you got to wait though because during the winter the snowbirds come down. And all the people from the Northeast come down here, and they have homes up there, and they have homes here. And when it starts to be the start of winter there, they all come down to Florida, and then you see a noticeable increase in traffic. So we'll have to see how that all pans out.
Stay tuned for part 2 of the Florida experience. I'm kidding. Yeah. Do you have any advice? You did give some good advice that if someone is thinking of moving to Florida, make sure the move happens during the winter months, probably. Any other advice for any Californians who are considering moving to Florida?
It really has everything that California does. It has the shops, it has the shopping, the attractions, the amenities, and everything. Like I mentioned, if you like rain, this is the place to come to. Because it rains every day.
Wow.
You can go 6-7 months without a drop of rain in Southern California during the summer, and it's polar opposite here.
Well, I did notice the green. It seems so much greener there.
Yes,
I think that was some good, valid information that hopefully people will appreciate because, like I said, it's good to get a person's firsthand experience who left California and moved to Florida. And what was the purpose for you moving to Florida, by the way?
I had looked at I grew up in Anaheim, lived in Orange County all my life, and I had other friends and family that had already moved out of California, and I thought and I was getting older to boot. I had a 2-story house, and I wanted to get into a 1-story home. So it was a matter of, well, where do I go? I have family in Florida. I have friends in Virginia. So those were two considerations. Virginia would seem a little bit maybe too cold for me once they get into the winter months. So that was kind of my thought process. Let's go to where my family is. It's warmer there.
Affordability.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, affordability. Overall, the cost of living is much less here.
Wow.
Everything considered. Less traffic, less congestion. Can't beat the California weather. It just can't beat it, in the world. But, to me, I was looking for maybe just a change. And so here I am.
Well, it sounds like you're doing well. You're flourishing. You're happy. You landed well and everything. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience. Hopefully, people are finding this valuable so they can determine whether or not Florida is a place they'd want to visit. And if so, go check it out. So, Gary, thank you so much.
Sure.
And I know I'll talk to you again. And go have a dry, wonderful day.
Yeah. So far, so good,
Good. All right. Take care.
Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe for more.